to start introducing this sort of segment where we basically actually Waterboy Wavy gave me an idea. He sent me a TikTok video of Steve Nash versus Chris Paul and
CP3
who I yeah CP3 and who I
in their
prefer
prime, both in their prime.
in their prime. Yeah. And so of course we were going back and forth, and I just wanted to ask you guys and just bring it into this segment, into this show. Jimmy, I'll go with you because you're very quiet, mate. CP3 or Nash?
I've never been a big fan of I've never been a big fan of CP3. He's not my boy. I don't fucks with CP3. My beef with Steve Nash is how he won the MVP with those weak stats as well.
Yeah.
I agree.
MVP, compared to what guys have to do now to win MVP, it's crazy that those numbers was it to actually win. So I think there was a lot of biasness when it comes to Steve Nash, and I think there was a lot of overhype, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I think at that time they just weren't used to such a typical facilitator back in those days. It was all bully ball and fighting, and just drafting the tallest player in the team. You got the 6'2", 6'3" guy who facilitates and controls the game. So I think it was something quite new, and there was like a lot of overhype. Whereas Steve Nash now is equivalent to our Austin Reeves right now. Let's be real; they play the same game, same numbers. Put Austin Reeves in Steve Nash plays back then in that generation. Let's be real, bro. So I'm a hater of Steve Nash as well. So you gave me two haters, brother. Two guys that I don't hard, bro. So I think out of the virtue of why I'm hating so hard, I'm gonna have to go to Chris Paul, bro, because it's in the era of this is now the God era. You gotta be a dope God. And I think in terms of the current crop of guards, I mean, you have guards like Steph Curry, who doesn't really facilitate. Not really. I think he creates for himself. You don't see Steph Curry with like 14, 15 assists, type thing. So in terms of just the facilitator, like your Rondo position, your Chris Paul, those were pure facilitators. They put guys on. So in terms of that, I think I'd go with Chris Paul. For
All right, and then when that ends, who do you go with, King? You unmute.
I think if we look at the guard position, looking historically from where it came from, when you're looking at the likes of Magic, all the way up to now, the last guard that you can safely say was really like proper into his role, I guess we can say it's CP3, guys. He was even called the point guard for a reason, guys. For a reason.
Right.
So putting him against Steve Nash, I feel like it's kind of you are underrating him. He's well clear, in my opinion. He's way well clear of Steve Nash. So CP3.
Yeah. And then when Atabo, I just quickly
bro, CP3 all day, bro. That guy has struggled. He's tried his best. He's lost some games where it was never his fault, and he had such a good chance of making it. Steve Nash just had those right pieces. He had a right piece back in the days where the game was more surrounded by around the center. He had Stoudemire back then. So I think CP3 over Steve any day.
Yeah. And then of course when you look at what I can head to head, of course they longevity wise they both the same. Playoffs played, CP3 has played more. All-Star games, CP3 has made 12 out of Steve Nash's 8. Of course, MVPs, Steve Nash has 2. All NBA first team, CP3 has more. All NBA teams, CP3 has 11. And that's impressive, Brian. In 19 seasons, 11. That is crazy. Even all defensive. This was the one that I was like, wow, okay. CP3, you're the one. Because initially I was leaning towards Nash when I was arguing with Waterboy. And then when I started looking at this, bro, I'm like, okay, this guy's got all defensive.
What did Waterboy say?
He said CP3.
CP3.
Yeah, I said
Okay,
CP3.
okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
said CP3, bro. You know, and
So
then of
Tiana-
course assist leaders, steals even, bro. Like, you know, it just shows you that CP3 was two-way. You know, he wasn't necessarily a facilitator only, but he was also quite defensive. I won't mention rookie of the year because I mean Nash had a stack rookie.
Yeah.
The rookies in Nash's year
Doesn't mean,
were
okay,
insane.
let's look at those points per game. You're telling me that right
Yeah.
now in today's NBA, if you're scoring 14 points a game, you're the MVP.
Never. Never.
Never, bro. Never. But there's this one. Yeah, this one. There was this other one. Best season. Yeah, best season. Yeah, right. And as you can see, 18 to 22.
18 points, and he was
Man.
MVP that season. I was shocked when I look at NBA. I'm like, no ways, man.
Nah, he's
It
a
will never
role
happen.
player, bro. He's
Crazy.
a role player with 18 points, bro. And then of course
It was
even
the
assists.
assist.
Yeah, it was the assists. Maybe at that time, assists went as like they were weighed more, and yeah, but like CP3 for me, I mean, even with steals per games, blocks per games, he still had better stats, bro. You know, so yeah, like it is what it is. I'm also leaning towards CP3, man. I even had to retract my statement when I was talking to Waterboy. Like, you know what, CP